Hello and welcome back to Crystal Clear Coaching for low posting for January. We are now on day 13, Tuesday the 13th, and I've managed to do it during daytime when I'm not about to fall asleep, as I almost did a couple of times in last night's video. It's actually hilarious to watch back. Thankfully, I think I announced it on the video and, you know, we just leant into it, but I definitely trailed off and said something that made no sense. So yeah, maybe this is our reminder that sometimes you just need a little nonsense in your life, because weirdly that video hasn't had some of my most views and I was so tired falling asleep trying to post it that I ended up I couldn't even think of a title for what I'd been talking about because I couldn't remember and I was just falling asleep. So I just put ... and uploaded it that way, thinking, oh, I'll think of something by the time before I go to bed and I'll change it. But then I fell asleep properly and woke up this morning and I had not a ton of views, but still lots for this channel so far. And I just thought that is crazy, so I changed the title then because I had the awakeness enough to figure out a title that made sense for what I talked about. But yeah, how funny. So there's a bit of nonsense in last night's video, and but also still lots of good stuff. I watched it back today and was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, if I hadn't mentioned how tired I was or done that one moment of trailing off properly and saying something that made no sense, you might not have even known. Anyway, I just like to own my chaos sometimes, you know, all the time. Yeah, anyway, so I'm noticing that my incessant procrastination is leading to me putting all these new habits that I really want to cultivate to later and later in the day, and even though I've had time to do them earlier in the day, some days, not always. I mean, yes, I would if I got up earlier and thus went to bed earlier in order to get up earlier and all that vicious cycle. But I'm just noticing in moments like, okay, am I procrastinating of doing all this? Could I just sit down and just choose to do, you know, one, like for instance for the journaling, could I just sit down and, you know, put a timer for 2 to 5 minutes and just write whatever comes up, no matter how bad it is or isn't, you know, like just write and then have that be good enough. And I think it's like, and it's just like starting with one thing and then the other, but when I look at it and it just feels like an overwhelming amount of habits and I've got to tick off this and this, it stops me in my tracks. And I think a lot of people that are chronic procrastinators would resonate with this, and ADHDers as well, because the way our brains work is that we have about 1 million tabs open at any given point, and it feels like, oh, there's just this 1 or 2 things to do, but if we actually sit down and write that list out, it's sometimes, well, it feels endless, but it's very long and actually unachievable and not in anybody's capability to do in the time frame that we expect of ourselves. So yeah, it's a good thing to notice. Today I naturally had to do a bit of walking because I had to go and find something at a shop that I don't usually go to that led to a bit of walking off my bus and walking in the rain in a new place. So it just felt a little different, a little fun. It was good, got what I needed. And ticked my exercise off at the same time, so yay for that. I've still got most of my list to do tonight, but hey, at least we're filming the video in daylight when I'm awake. I still have to do my journaling, my meditation, remind myself what else I have told myself I'm doing daily. I think I did actually post one of my Canva drafts to my Instagram, so that's good. That one I've got a good habit of when I arrive kind of at work, if I've got some spare time to go and grab some breakfast or a coffee or something, which I often do, being on public transport, I have to allow lots of time. And yeah, when I'm sitting there, I just think, oh, what could I do that could be productive in this moment? And ta-da! And it's so easy. And I've already done the work. I just need to do the part of clicking share, downloading and then sharing. Yeah, easy. So yeah, lots of motivational quotes going over at Crystal Clear Coaching right now. I'll try and do some other stuff at some point, but hey, that's something for now. And I've already made so many of them because I have had fun playing around with Canva many times, and there's many things I've learnt and little wisdoms that I learnt either off other people or just came through me. That just ended up in a Canva document at some point, or multiple, let's be honest, there's probably more. I also looked through my Google Docs the other day and saw the graveyard. It's not a graveyard because they're not dead, actually. I saw it's like the messy rumpus room of the house, There's like a whole bunch of piles of stuff, like kind of half done stuff. It's that vibe. And I've got lots of stuff that is like 75% done that are really cool coaching tools that I could put out there as a digital product. And I haven't done it. So that's good to notice. Because, they can't help anyone if they're not there and available. So, yeah. I'm actually thinking not trying to add a whole bunch more habits is actually going to be what serves me best. I can spend the rest of this month just integrating the habits I've already chosen. And if I feel the capacity at any point to, add some more, then great. But I tend to have about 1 million ideas, and it's just actually not in my capacity, probably anyone's capacity, to change that much about how they operate in their day-to-day life that fast. So yeah. I don't know that I have anyone out there also doing habit challenges for themselves yet, but maybe you'll in the future, and it's already happening for other people, just in a different time frame, and perhaps you are doing it yourself. So if you are, feel free to talk in the comments about how your habit changing is going, or what resonates as to how hard or easy it's been for you to change habits. And there's a lot to do with mindset and your perspective, and I'm just trying to really notice when I'm deciding something's too hard in small moments, when I could just decide to just do it anyway instead of spending 20 minutes thinking about it. I could probably do it in 5 minutes, and if I just did it right then, but it's like the opposite of how I've been operating for many years for myself in my own personal life. I am much better at doing it like that when it comes to a job and a boss has asked me to do it. So how can I trick my brain into thinking a boss has just asked me to do it and I'm going to lose my job maybe not lose my job, but I'm going to, I've just got that fire up my ass a little bit. So it's good to notice, and I do feel like overall it's going well, imperfectly, but it's going well, and I'm learning, and my day-to-day is going to shift a bit because my house sit ends in a couple of days, not even actually tomorrow night. So I won't have all the responsibilities around the animals. I'm going to be renting a room in a friend's house for a little while, but I don't know how long yet, and ideally I want to find a proper flat soon, but I also might need another job soon, so we'll see how that all lands, but I will have a couple of hours of my time back per day, so that's, I could fit all my habits in there and then not even be losing out on any more time than I have been lately anyway. So fun times. I think the biggest almost new habit that I would still like to instigate is just doing things basically earlier in the day, and if I've got work through an external source, working for a company that is not mine, that's getting it you know, kind of getting up and going through that routine of like, okay, meditate, do yoga, or go for a walk, or move my body some way, journal, all the other habits that I have that I've shared that I don't need a list or refer to. No, I do. I need my list. Yeah. So, and I struggle to put a time frame on it, because there has been times where I've been like, okay, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and I'm doing XYZ, and like I'm gonna be real strict about it, but it's just never lasted. But then also, is it just because of my mindset? I've just decided it's not a non-negotiable anymore, or usually it's because a job has come into it, and me getting to bed early enough to get up early enough to do all that before going to work feels overwhelming, and so I say it's okay if I don't, and then I fall out of the habit completely. So, also not great, because I want these habits to stick around. And it's like habits to just fill myself up first. And as much as I'm a night owl naturally, and I want to believe that people can act on different time frames and still be successful, like 100% they can. I just feel like there's something about staking a claim for yourself first thing in the day, so that, you know, energetically you wake up, you have your, you know, I don't know, say you have 10 bars a day of energy, you know, but if you're using them for your own good first up, you spend those wisely, filling yourself up. Whereas when you're doing the fill yourself up activities at the end of the day, when you've already spent 8 or 9 bars, and you're just trying to power on through, and you're trying to just kind of like score a bar for half price at the end of the day, but really it's just old and going off. I don't know, it's analogies a little bit everywhere, but like, yeah, the energy just ain't there, is my point. So yeah, but I really like sleeping in, so which parts of me need to have a little meeting and decide who gets to run the show. I think we can tell who's been running the show for a while. It's the part that wants to sleep in. Anyway, if there's any other night owls out there, I'm sure this is relatable. But hey, you just gotta try. You just gotta give it a whirl. And then part of me, whenever I use the word try, I'm like, I shouldn't use that word, and I also shouldn't use the word should. Don't shit all over yourself. But also try, do or do not. There is no try, as Yoda has told us, the wise Yoda. Bless you. There is a truth to that. If you make it, like, that's basically making it non-negotiable. Do or do not. There is no try. Sometimes you just really don't want it to be that black and white, though. And which part of you is speaking then? Is it the part that's going to empower you to step into your higher self, to get the things you really want out of your life, to feel proud of yourself? Or the part that's going to have you feeling disappointed in yourself, frustrated with yourself, just like feeling like you can't get ahead, you know, like there's... Which part do you really want to be in control? But those parts are strong. The peace and chill, put it off for later vibes, ooh, they run strong, because I don't even want to say that I want to stop procrastinating, because I'm like, sometimes procrastinating's fun. But also sometimes you can't not procrastinate on something, because if you've got a long list, an ambitious list of things to do, you might say that you're procrastinating on doing one task because you did another task first, you know. So, like, in this day and age where we have so much on our attention and so many ideas of things we could do, feel like we should do again. Don't use that word. there's just actually too much for our capacity often, and we need to actually notice when that comes up for us, when there's just too much we're expecting of ourselves, and that's okay. And so it's like, okay, say you have 5 things every day you can do in your capacity. Do those 5 things. Okay, I feel like I've just now gone and stamped on my 10 bars of energy. Anyway, bad analogies aside, I think you get the point. Got to notice what's in capacity and notice that if we're being too hard on ourselves as well. Anyway, I shall leave you there before it gets dark, and I hope you're having a good day, and talk tomorrow.